Hello, Red Brick Productions here with another LEGO video. Today I have another older LEGO City review. This one is a set from 2023. It's the Explorer Diving Boat. It has the set number 60377. It has, shockingly, only 182 pieces. It feels like there's a lot more. A ton of animals, a good amount of figures, and a really nice boat. So without further ado, I want to take a look at the side build with all the animals first, and then we'll take a look at the boat. So for the side build, we get this really nice coral reef build, which looks pretty good, and you get some like shipwreck parts like a sunken treasure chest and even like a steering wheel or the captain's wheel right there. But the more impressive part about this set is the amount of exclusive animals that we get. We get this exclusive stingray, which the part itself only comes in this set, at least in this coloring. The eyes look good, and I like that spotted printing. The sand blue is really nice for the stingray, and underneath that's what it looks like. And yeah, it's just a one piece, but it looks really good. We get this turtle, which came in, I guess, one other set, but it's one of those like hard to get, like only exclusive at like a certain event or something. But it's just got a 2x4 anti-stud part right there, and you get one stud on the top, and the face just looks so good. I like the flipper builds right there, and the shell just looks really, really nice. Now for the baby turtle, we did get this mold in a CMF series, but this is a new coloring since that one was in an olive green. This is in more of that bright green. And again, just adorable. And you can even put the little baby turtle on top of the adult turtle, which I think just looks super cute. The baby one is just a scaled down version of this adult one. And then finally we get the hammerhead shark, which has come in sets before, but not in this color. So we get a new exclusive color for the hammerhead shark. And obviously the hammerhead shark looks really good. I like that little mold that they made. And of course you can open up the mouth and put something inside like a fish or something, which looks pretty good. Speaking of fish, we get two fish. We get this spring green fish, which does not glow in the dark, unlike what a lot of people think. And it looks radioactive, so maybe the shark should not eat this fish. We also get the sand blue fish, which looks really good. And now for the rest of the coral build, oh, we also get a crab. So we get a ton of animals in this set, like actually just an insane amount of animals, which is pretty awesome. Now for the actual build, of course, we get this treasure chest, and inside is a goblet, and then you get three little coins with that crown printing. Let me pull one out so you can get a better look at it. If my camera would focus. There we go. That's what that looks like. We get three of those in this treasure chest, which, you know, you can have the explorers discover while they're diving. You actually get another one, and it's right there. So you get four in this set. And then you get some little seaweed right there. You get that coral piece, which we got, that looks pretty good. We get this really interesting iridescent like dome piece right there. I guess you also get a starfish as an animal too, which is, again, another animal. You get another piece in that coral, and then we get this mop piece in like a green color, which looks really good as like some seagrass or even like an anemone of sort. This just is a really colorful build, and I like this archway. You can, you know, picture your sea critters swimming through there, and even your divers going around and exploring this terrain. I mean, it just is really vibrant with a ton of builds. Ignore the trash truck outside. But yeah, this is really good. So yeah, now let's take a look at the dive boat. This dive boat is pretty awesome. It uses the like pre-molded floating boat piece that you can just like put in the water and it will float. However, my one like kind of critique right off the bat is there's so little space on this boat, like very little usable space. It's kind of all covered up. So obviously right here we have the canopy, which you can lift this up to reveal where your driver can sit. And so that is right there. They have a printed console and a steering wheel up front there. You can see the printed console there, and then the steering wheel. You get a little searchlight up here, and then you get two lights right there, the red and the green. You do have a little gray bucket inside here. It's a little hard to get, even like for my, I guess I'm, you know, adult fingers can reach inside there just barely. Inside right now I have the alternate hair pieces, which we'll get to in a minute, but you can store most of the diving gear in here. You could probably get their helmets and their fins in here. There's also another place to store some of the diving equipment on the sides here, and that's right here. There's like enough space There's like a little indent right here where you can put their tanks. You also got a spot here if you want to stand your minifigures like they're getting ready to dive, which you might need them to stand there because there's so little standing room for your minifigures, even without all their diving gear. Inside, you really just get this tiny minuscule amount of space right there for, you know, you gotta fit 2 figures in there and they barely fit, but that's okay, I guess. You do get this bench right here, which is really nice because you can, you know, let's just say you find out this baby turtle is hurt. You can place the baby turtle on the workbench and you have this little med kit right here to help administer some sort of antibiotic or something to help the turtle thrive. Now, there's nothing to control this crane, which I think is a miss. It would have been nice if they gave like a little walkie-talkie with a printed 1x2 to help like simulate, oh, this is a remote for the crane, but maybe, you know, the driver can control the crane from the front. But yeah, there's this little like crane right here, which, you know, just has 2 articulatable points and then a chain at the end. And this can be used for a couple different things. You could have them attach the treasure chest on the end. You can have them attach a minifigure or even like a large turtle. Like if this turtle is too heavy to lift out, you can picture them, I guess, securely, you know, you got to use your imagination a little bit, securely strap the turtle on to help lift it out of the water. So I like the idea of the crane because there's so much things you can do with it. But the other thing you can do with it is you get this little, I guess, a little robotic submarine device. And we get a print right there, which we get in a lot of these sets. It's got some lights, a little translucent dome right there, and then 2 little clips that don't really have a lot of articulation, but I'm sure they could still pick up the treasure chest or something. And yeah, you also get this little gear at the back for a propeller, which I think is good, but you of course get this rounded jumper so you can attach the chain on and then you can lift this out of the water or lift it in the water. But there's no like place to put this on the boat, so it just has to kind of hang behind, which isn't my favorite thing in the world, but because this is such a small boat, because they use that pre-molded boat hull, then yeah, that's like kind of all you get. You do have these little propellers here, which can be articulated. So if you're actually like in the water as a kid, you can put these down and they'll actually be in the water, like below the surface. But for the sake of this, since I'm on table, they can just go right there, which I think works well. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed by the size of the boat. I like the overall boat design, I think is interesting. And the color scheme is obviously pretty awesome. You do get another print right here, which I didn't mention, so that's pretty nice. No stickers in the set from my understanding, which is really, really nice. But yeah, this is also print here and that little medical thing. So overall, this is a pretty good boat. It's just missing some space. But now let's take a look at it. So we get 2 divers, 1 male, 1 female. You also get this camera, which is nice. I'm assuming it's underwater camera because it's blue, and also the diver is bringing it underwater. You get all the dive gear that you need. So the orange flippers, you get this really nice dive helmet, and then of course you can remove the helmet, and each of the divers are given a hairpiece. So this person has this like bright blue hairpiece right there. And yeah, the printing on the torso looks really good. I'm a scuba diver myself, and I can see some things that I recognize. Like you got the air gauge to see how much air you have left. You got the little, it's like the buoyancy control where you blow it. I forget what it's called, the terminology for it. And then of course you got a little watch or a compass on there. I really like those details. I think those look really good. This diver gets the exact same torso and leg printing, which is fine because I'm assuming they're a part of this team and they get standardized suits. You also get a hairpiece for this minifigure, and then we'll take a look at the back torso printing in a second. We get the, I guess, head dive master here, who just has a life vest, and she's also probably the captain of the ship. Very, very nice hairpiece right there. The back torso printing is very simple, and no alternate face piece for this minifigure, or head print for this minifigure, and the life vest looks really nice. So now let's take a look at her front torso printing and their back torso. So for the front torso print of this minifigure looks really good. You get that nice shine right there with the silver. You get this belt, which I don't know what it does. But yeah, I think this figure looks pretty good. Now the back of the torso is the same as this minifigure, where you just get the like wetsuit zipper, which I think is very appropriate for this figure. And then I also forgot to mention, this is the only minifigure with an alternate face print. where she looks a little more nervous compared to her other face, which, if you remember, is a little more confident. Maybe she saw the hammerhead shark and is getting a little nervous, or, you know, maybe is worried about the stingray stinging her or something. But yeah, overall, I think this is a good selection of figures. While I had it off, I wanted to show you what I meant. You could put the air tanks right here, which are actually very appropriate for a dive boat. There's usually a place for air tanks and stuff, so they fit in there very snug, which I think looks really good. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. For the box design, it's pretty simple. Here's like kind of what the top looks like. It just shows, you know, the whole set all built up and stuff. On the back, you get a very cool view of like them trying to get the above water shot of the treasure chest and then the underwater shot. And it's like a good angle. Like I could really see myself looking down under the water and seeing all that. It shows like them mending the turtle, lifting up the robot, and then of course finding the treasure. So yeah, that's it for the box. You get 3 instructions with this set, so it's a build together with your family type of build. For this instruction, obviously it tells you how to build the set, shows that set all built up right there. For the next part, you get, again, the set all built up. So that's what that looks like. And then it shows that this part of the set is built, and then we get an ad for all the other sets in this Explore sub-theme. I do plan on buying and reviewing all these. I have all these except for this one. I just haven't found a good deal on it as of yet, but I do have the rest of these. This one also has the piece count and then a rebuild the world ad. Now for the final one, of course, it tells you how to build the set, shows the set all built up, and then another rebuild world. Do any of them have the win? Yes, this one does have the little win right there. So yeah, that's really it for the instructions of the set. This is what you get for leftover pieces, including an extra gold coin. So for my final verdict, I really like this set. Obviously, we get a ton of animals, which is super awesome, and we get a really nice boat. While I'm not a huge fan that the boat comes with like very little space for the minifigures, the minifigures will probably be spending a good amount of time in the water and stuff. And if we think about it as a play set for kids, there's a lot of good play value in this set. It's not really a display set, you know, it's not meant for adults like me, but this set is a really fun set to play with, and I could see a lot of kids having fun with it. Now, for $40, I could see it being $40. It was $40 at the time. However, I got this for $30 brand new, secondhand. And like that $30 price was just so incredible that like trying to think of it as 40 just like hurts. So I really can't justify this for $40 knowing that I got it for $30 secondhand, brand new, off of Bricklink. And it still is that cost currently right now. I think some of the used ones are even cheaper, around like $27 and stuff. So really, really good value here, secondhand. At the time, $40, yes, I could probably see it. We do get a lot of exclusive animals over here. And of course we get the pre-molded boat hull, which is an expensive piece to make, I'm sure. I mean, Lego is a multi-billion-dollar company, so they're probably not too worried about the cost, since it's probably cheaper for them to make than what they charge us. So for $40, I would have to give this 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5 even. It's pretty low. For $30, this is an easy 9 out of 10. I think the only thing that drops it down is just the lack of standing room in the boat, which, you know, you can get over it. But yeah, for $30, this set is pretty incredible. So with that, if you like this set, take a look at Bricklink, eBay, keep looking around and stuff. I'm sure you can get this for pretty cheap nowadays if you didn't get it back in 2023. So yeah, that's really it for this video. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts about this set in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out. Bye.